Welcome to the match preview for the Leeds at home game coming tonight. We thought we'd do it live just because we get a bit more interaction on it. But Sam, what's your kind of thoughts or first thoughts coming into this game tonight?
It's a massive one. It's a must-win tonight. Like you were saying earlier, we're slowly slipping away down the pecking order a bit. If we lose tonight, it's a bit of a disappointing result because we're going to be 3 points both from a team that are down in the bottom five, like we are. And same again for Wolves when we go into it.
Hello, Jack. Yes, we are twins apparently. But yeah, you're saying that we could really be drifting if we started to lose the games against Leeds and even Wolves, because like you say, if we lose to the weak Leeds, I don't see Rodgers going because you've only got 2 or 3 days before the Wolves game to play. And then even after that, you've got the likes of Man City, so we could be looking at a 3-loss streak coming up. So we've got to be going into this game tonight with a massive win.
I mean, yeah, but you're preventing the inevitable. Even if we do lose tonight, I think Rodgers has to go. He should be gone by now already. So it's a hard one to say. We've got tonight. If Rodgers needs to be, in charge for all of them. I think if we lose tonight, realistically, Rodgers should be gone. He should have been gone 3 matches ago. Should have been gone 5 matches ago. So I don't think he will be going, regardless of the result tonight. But like you say, the biggest thing now is just to pick up 3 points tonight and pick up 3 points against Wolves. Otherwise, we're going to face Man City, and if we do end up losing 3 in a trot, we're in a right mess.
Yeah, you're right. Carl says Leeds look good against Arsenal. I'm very worried. Thing is, I said this before, that Leeds may look good against an Arsenal team, but Leeds are a very on and off team. One game they are absolutely woeful, and the next game they're deserving to win every game. So for me, it depends what Leeds turns up.
Yeah, I think we're going to see quite a good Leeds team turn up.
I think under Bielsa last season it was a bit of a hit or miss, but with this new manager in as well, they are.
I think Leicester they're coming to Leicester. They're dead last. They could pick up. They could probably think they could pick up at least a draw tonight, and can't argue that. I think they'll be lucky to, come away with anything but a point. I think I can't see us winning tonight, but we have to win. There's no way around it today. Yeah. It's too big of a game to drop points again. We've dropped points against Bournemouth. We've dropped points against Palace. We've been dropping points left, right, and centre this season. And whatever's going wrong, I think everyone's a bit deflated at the moment. It's hard to keep saying the same things like we're saying.
It is, yeah. Ross is saying a big game tonight, 3 points. It is, yeah. Must win from March. A draw is not good enough. It's not, because like you say, if we only get a draw today, the teams around us, like the Wolves and Leeds that we are playing in these next few games, are the teams that, if they are getting the more points, we are going to get stuck where we're at the bottom and there's points away from 19th place, that we're going to get stuck at the bottom. So that game against Forest was a must win. We did win it, but then we went to Bournemouth and lost it. So again, it's the same story. We've got to win this game, and then we've got to go on Sunday and win that game as well. So it's, again, another tough spot in the season, but what else can you say? Because you're going into the Leeds game tonight, and it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tougher game than I think Palace was. I think they were quite bad as well, but I think depending on what Leeds show up, I think we will.
We've got the team to be beating these teams. It's 18 months ago we were winning these games, and we were saying how can we beat how could we beat the top 6 teams even, but now we're really deflated, and then Leeds probably going to come and think we could pick up a point against these at least, and it's hard to argue that. To put that Carl comment on there.
You were saying about Pratt maybe taking Madison's spot. I can't see that happening. If you're playing with wingers, the only one person that will be in there is probably O'Brien. But if you go without wingers and you go more free than back with wing backs, you'd play both.
Personally, I don't think he's going to change the team the way it plays today. I don't think Perez is going to be in the team over. I think it would be Pratt, just because I've not heard.
But if you're playing wingers, surely you wouldn't play Pratt on the wing. You'd rather have someone like O'Brien or Perez. But yeah, but I think I think Maddison is a lot more suited to like a more of a winger kind of
No,
position.
I think he's an attacking midfielder. If you want to play a winger, put Albright on there.
Oh, yeah, that's where you play Albright tonight, don't you?
If you were gonna play for winger, you play Albright tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't play Press. You don't play Pratt.
But if you if you do go to three at the back with wing backs, you'd play both either Daka and Kel, or you play Vardy and Kel, and then behind him you would probably put someone.
He's not going to change the team tonight. It'll be the same as what it was against.
I don't know. I honestly think he might change him because he's lost his main creative player. I think he might have to sort of
think he'll just put the same kind of player for him. I think put Pratt in and maybe Perez. I've not had Perez this season. That's why I said Pratt over him, because Pratt seems to be one that's coming off the bench and taking the position in the midfield a little bit more. So I don't know if Perez will be the one to come on to start tonight. I don't think we'll see the team change much at all. I think it will just be, like for like change tonight, stick the same formation. And I think it won't work. It'll be a lot worse without Maddison in that controlling area.
Yeah, Jamie says he's lost the plot trying to get at the sack. God knows what team he'll play. Everyone has got their opinions. I honestly don't think he's playing. He's managing for the sack. I don't think he's playing to try and get the sack. I think he's just trying what he can, and he's just not working at the moment. Carl says I'm losing my white with Leicester City at the moment. I'll be at the game tonight, but expecting a draw. Yeah, you've always got to go into these games now with the performances we've had and be like, a draw is not the best result, but it's better than a loss. I think for me,
it is better than a loss, but you've got to also look at it. That Leeds, like I said, 18 months ago, even 12 months ago, you would have been saying, "Oh, this is not even an easy 3 points. It's an easy 3 or 4-0." But I can't see us keeping a clean sheet tonight against Leeds. I think we're going to concede a goal. I don't know who's going to score tonight for us. I don't know where our creative comes from. Like I say, now there's no Maddison to set up goals. Where does that creative come from in the midfield?
But that's maybe where, as much as you might be so stubborn yourself and saying that Rodgers ain't going to change something. I feel like with Maddison doing that dive, I think it could really change in what Rodgers is thinking. Maybe he does go to tilt top. He has done it in the past. He played against Brighton with tilt top. There's a few that you.
I don't think he's going to change that. I think because it's such a small change, but in a big way. It's just one player that's out. I don't think he's going to change his whole formation just because.
The thing is, he has changed formation in the past this season. He has gone to tilt front at times. We've done well at tilt front. Yes, we lost 5-2 in the end against Brighton, but even you said the tilt top with Dak and Kel work together well.
Yeah,
and then you've lost Maddison. I think
the same team with Pratt, maybe Perez in tonight. I don't think he's going to change it.
Okay, so would you be shocked to see if the team was changed today?
It would be a surprise to me personally if the team's any different to what it was against Palace, minus obviously Maddison. I think personally, if we were to change it, I mean it's good to try different things, but Rodgers he's a one-trick pony really. He doesn't offer anything different. He tries these new things, but we still play passing around the back. If we play wing backs, we still don't utilise them well. For me, if you're going to play with a winger on the left side, you need to play with a winger on the right side. And I would have been playing Albright because he's the only right winger we really have at the moment. But tonight, Maddison at the team, I think, like I said, I think Pratt's going to come in or Perez if he's lucky. And I think that'll be it. I don't think there'll be much more to it. It'll be the same team minus Maddison.
As much as I think, like we know Rodgers, and I'd probably say I'd agree with you, but I just feel like with the big miss in Maddison, I just feel like he has to change it in some way. I don't think Pratt will be good enough on the wing. I don't think Perez will be put on the wing. I think if anything, you put Perez in his actual spot in a more centre forward role where Maddison has been.
I agree that
you know what I mean.
Perez should be playing in that attacking midfield role, but he won't be because we're saying it like Maddison's playing as an attacking midfielder. He's not, and he's been playing as
I get
right winger and an attacking midfielder at the same time. So Maddison was okay in that role. He obviously all his goals came from the middle of the park and all his assists. None of them come from the right side, but he's still being played out on the right side. So I don't really know what Rodgers' tact side. He's a bit of a deluded manager because he keeps trying these same things. And I hate to say it, he's worse than Peel. He's got a worse track record than Peel. We sacked Peel for Leicester. We sacked Ranieri. He won us the Premier League for Leicester. I don't know what's keeping him around, to be honest.
Yeah, Foss says all logic suggests we're not getting anything from tonight's game. but for some strange reason, I feel a little positive and I think we'll win. I think that's the situation for every game at the moment. We just, from what it looks like, we're at the bottom of the table. Every other team at the moment is above us, obviously, and they're expected to probably beat us. But I feel like it's just we've just got to perform well, and hopefully we'll get the win. Ross says 2 up front. I agree, but it just depends on what Rodgers wants to do. Nacho and Vardy to start for me. I don't think so. I think Daka deserves that start.
Daka won't get dropped. He's
doing too well for me.
Scoring as a striker at the moment. So if Daka gets dropped again, that shows deluded Rodgers.
I really feel like Vardy's not. I won't say he's gone and he's lost it, but I don't think he's getting anything.
Again, I've said the same for Daka as I would for Vardy. They're both not being used right under Rodgers' team. They're both not being played to their strengths. I said a few months back, why did we sign Patson Daka under Brendan Rodgers? Because Rodgers doesn't like to play the way that Vardy plays. He likes his own.
But didn't at the start when Rodgers first came in, didn't Rodgers love how Vardy was playing? He used him well.
Because he's changed the way he plays the past 12 months. He changed into a more passing, not passing on the back, but more defensive holding, and it's not worked. And he's too stubborn to go back to. Like I said, he's a one-trick pony. If it doesn't work his way, he's either going to stick it out until it works, or he'll get the sack inevitably. And that's my problem.
Costa says, I agree with the fellow on the left. He's talking about you because you're saying there won't be any changes will happen for like change, like change, but Madison's not available.
I don't think it's going to be too deep tonight. I think it's just going to be, I don't think there's going to be much to talk about. I think it'll just be the same team with someone filling in Madison's role for tonight. I don't think we're going to. In my eyes, I don't see Rodgers. He doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve, really. He'll play the same football. Yeah, he might play with the wing backs at the back, but we don't have Pereira. So who do you play as a back five? I don't trust Amati to be in that team, really. I don't trust.
Yeah, but you're thinking about that as well now. If you go for a back 3/back 5, you've got obviously Faze.
No Evans.
Evans, no, is not going to be there.
So it's going to be Amati, Sunchu, or Vestergaard, really.
And even Sunchu's out, injured.
Is it?
He's injured with his knee, so it won't be a 3 at the back then. Okay, I'll agree with that. So it probably will be a winner situation, and it's going to be hard on there. Sean says, let's actually look good going forward, just defensively a bit jittery. Big thing was not trying to replace Michael. Should have gone for Leno. I would not have tackled Leno, but I know what you mean. We should have got a new keeper in. I would even would have took Ben Foster at this point.
Well, you're saying that you would have took Leno in the end because he's better than Ward. He's better than Ward. He's got 100 games under his belt. I'm sorry, you can't say he's not better than Ward because he's playing.
Oh, he's not better. Yeah, he's better than Ward. But
exactly.
But like I say, I always say to you that we at the end of the window we just didn't have the money or the time to get anyone like him. We already lost out on him. We already lost out on Pope.
We knew that Casper was going. He said he was going before he left. So no offense to Casper, he left us in a bit of a hole when he left just before the Premier League started. They could have given us more time in the end, but.
James says, what's Rodgers' excuse tonight going to be if we lose?
Probably be too hot, even though it's 10 degrees and it's raining.
Carl again says, always going to be nervous at the back with Amati and Ward. It is. I was so scared against Crystal Palace.
They're both liabilities. You just know that there's going to be a mistake between them tonight. And there's bound to be.
Amati was lucky against Palace because he had a few iffy moments in that game, and we probably could have conceded if Faze weren't covering his back or even Ward weren't getting lucky with us how he was playing. Jamie says, we play slow and pedestrian football. When he arrived at the club, we were quick, aggressive style of football whilst retaining possession.
He's changed the way he played. I think it's obvious that he's changed the way he's played.
Yeah, GMP says we need long passes to Vardy. I guess, but again, I always say to the point that we can do that, but again, it gets to the point where you either do it too much or too little, and I don't think we can just keep blasting balls over the top every 2 seconds. I think the football we do play can be suitable to the strikers if the ball goes through the middle. I think Jake says that if the balls go right through the middle and Madison was in that sort of role, I think it would work.
I understand that
but it doesn't happen when Madison's on the wing.
We're trying to do the passing through the pitch, but we've got players out of positions left, right, and centre. Tielemans isn't. He's almost been playing as a second defensive midfielder recently. He's a holding midfielder. He used to be in the middle of the park, passing around a bit like a Drinkwater was. He'd sling it up a bit, do the long balls. You got Barnes on the wing, but then you got the whole right side is open because Stanley's then pushing up as a bit of a wing back and he's getting caught out.
It really doesn't help that players like Barnes, and at times he looks all right, but again, he's not really scoring other than that.
I think Barnes is very predictable.
Yes.
I think he's easy to know. He's either going to take you on or cut in, but you know how he's going to do it. If you watch a highlights video of him, you know that as a right back, it's quite easy to defend him because he's either going to cut in this way, he's going to take me on the other way, and if I can push him out to the side, he's going to cross it in, and he's not the best crosser. Let's be honest. I don't think I've seen him put many balls in that are good. So I think it's quite easy to know.
Carl again says, I don't understand why Iverson isn't given a chance if he has the shocker. Then we all know why Ward is playing. Yes,
because Ward's been given the number one spot on the back of his shirt. Rodgers has backed him to said, "You're my number one now." So he's going to stick with his guns. Like I said, he's too stubborn to swap it around. Just like we said with a lot of the players in the team. You know, Tielemans, he got captain the other day. Tielemans, the person who wants to leave the club, who was waiting, he's not signed a new contract, was made captain against Palace. What kind of message does that send to someone like Maddison, who's trying and actually wants to be at the club?
Yeah, it's just, I said at the start of the season, and as much as we didn't know what Ward was going to be like, that comment there is one of the main reasons I am Rodgers at the moment, because he's just not picking the right players. And I honestly, as much as Iverson could have a shocker, if he comes in, he could be kind of one part of the team pushing up the table. I feel like
he could help, but again, I will keep saying it, and I'll say it over and over again. We should have signed a proper Premier League goalkeeper at the start when Casper went. We said all these options, even Ben Foster, like I said, at the end of the day, he knows the league. He would have been better than Danny Ward. And no offence to Iverson, I've not seen him play yet, but he's a 25-year-old who's been on loan at Championship.
Yeah.
So he's not the youngest. He's not, I don't know if people realise he's not too young, but Ward has just been, he's a liability, and I think he will be tonight again.
Yeah, it says we need goals. I don't think that's the problem. We are scoring goals.
Look at the thing, we scored 15, 16 goals already this season, which is double what the teams around us have scored. We've conceded the most goals, so our defence is the reason we're doing so bad at the moment.
Yeah, Andy Meadows again says Barnes should get double figures every season. He is. He's literally in his prime ages now to be one of the best players. And again, before he got injured, before the Euros, he was quality.
Barnes plays well in a winning team, and I know that sounds silly, but he's one of those players which he'll bag a goal, and he needs like motivation to run. Because when you see him running, he's very staggering when he's like doesn't know how to take him on. But when you see it's like, oh, we're already 2-0 up, he's running past them like they're no one's business.
Yeah, Sean says Vardy has to start for Leicester. He may be aging, but 9 out of 10 he gets in and one-on-one.
I disagree.
I don't think he's had about 10 or chances.
Guy's a Leicester fan. Look, I think he might be an Arsenal fan. If you watch it this season, he's been missing the chances, and the Daka has been looking like he'd put more away. I'm not saying anything against Vardy. We don't utilise him well under Rodgers, just like we don't with Daka. I don't think Vardy deserves his spot at the moment.
We're not slating him because we know he's a legend, but he's got to the point where he's had enough chances on goal, even though he's not been the best service. Even against Chelsea, he had about 4 or 5 shots alone, and he's missed every single one of them.
I don't think Daka deserves to get dropped.
No.
He's been playing decent. I think he just needs to learn his game a little bit better. Daka does. I think he'll be all right.
No worries, don't be sorry for being late. And then the last comment we'll put is, hi guys, I don't think we can cope with the attack tonight. They play one way and we are up for it.
Yeah, Leeds are very attacking. They've got their defence, probably just like ours. They've probably got good attacking and not a great defence. So I think it'll be the battle of who can score more tonight rather than who can defend more.
Well, we said that against Palace and it ended 0-0. So
yeah.
Before we go, then, we want your score prediction.
My heart is saying we'll win 2-0. My head's saying we're going to draw 2-2 tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to go with my head because I'm going to be logical. I think
you're going to go for a draw.
I think we're going to draw tonight 2-2. I don't think we're going to come away with all 3 points, and I hope that something changes after tonight if we do end up losing or drawing.
Yeah, and I've said I'm going to go for a 2-1, but I wouldn't say no to a draw. As long as we don't lose, I couldn't really care. It's just we can't.
We need to win tonight. If we keep.
Yeah, we need to win. Yeah, like we say,
we're going to get relegated.
The 2 wins is a must in the next 2 games. Otherwise, we are going to be probably about 4 or 5 points at least in
then we've got Man City, Everton,
and then that's 9 points. Yeah,
there's teams that are harder to play after. These 2 teams, we need to pick up 6 points because let's be honest, we're not getting anything against Man City. The form there and the form we're.
Oh, you never know. It's always Leicester.
Yeah, well, I've seen the way we're playing, and I've seen Haaland. It'd be lucky if he doesn't put 5 past us, to be honest.
But yeah, appreciate you coming on, Sam, and we'll catch you for the Wolves preview on probably. Oh no, not the Wolves preview because we're not going to be able to do it, but the Wolves review on Monday with Phil. So I appreciate it. See you in a bit.